second inning at the Astrodome. Darryl Hamilton takes a strike from Shane Reynolds. Hamilton to be followed by Roger Cedeno and Ray Ordonez. Mets with a 1-0 lead. First inning home run by Alfonso. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hamilton. Shane Reynolds walked 2 batters in a row after the home run by Fonzie. Think of how unusual that is. Hamilton pops the ball up behind third. Caminiti hoping for a play, but it's about 10 rows back. How rare it is for Reynolds to walk 2 in a row? Well, he'll walk on average just a little over 1 batter per 9 innings, and that's the best ratio in all of Major League Baseball. Right here, he's ahead of Darryl Hamilton. A ball and 2 strikes. And the fastball fouled back. Hamilton batting at .392 as a New York Met. Acquired a month ago tomorrow at the July 31st trade deadline. And now tomorrow midnight is when rosters have to be frozen for postseason eligibility. So teams will probably do a little more tinkering between now and then. Fly ball well hit right field. Berkman to the wall. That's a gunner. Darryl Hamilton with his 3rd home run as a Met. His 7th of the year, and it's 2-0 New York. Darryl taking it nice and slow, going around the bases for a guy who's not a bona fide home run hitter. He's got the trot down, Pat, huh?
Well, that's one thing that you learn early. If you hit a home run, you gotta, I guess if you hit more than one, you gotta go around and enjoy it. And there's they call it the Cadillac Trot. And some players run full tilt around the bases.
Chopper by Roger Cedeno into center field. So the Mets with 2 straight hits to start the 2nd. A homer by Hamilton. And now Roger Cedeno with a single.
Some hitters want to hit that ball and go around the bases and not insult the pitcher. They just want to get from home to home, get back in the dugout. So Darryl Hamilton Cadillac around the bases. Enjoying it. That's not bad. That's a home run trot.
So the Mets have gone deep twice already tonight. Now Cedeno, always a threat to run at first, but not nearly the same size lead that we've seen him take.
He's lost a lot of his aggressiveness for whatever reason. Maybe because he's been thrown out a few times. He hasn't been running as much.
0-1 here to Ray Ordonez. The size of the lead tells it all. Now watch carefully. See that left foot of his? When he's got his real big lead, both feet are on the green, on the artificial turf. Right there, he basically straddles the edge of that sliding pit, and that's not nearly as big a lead as Roger Cedeno is taking routinely earlier in the season.
Well, we talked about the two schools of thought. If you take as big a lead as you can get, now you're thinking pickoff, get back. If you take a decent lead where you know you can get back, you're thinking second base.
No ball, it's 2 strikes. Outside, 1-2. Ordonez has had a good trip with 4 hits in 11 at-bats. Has a career high now with 47 runs batted in. 5 more than he had last year. Cedeno, still a conservative lead for him, and plenty of time to get back. Reynolds, like so many pitchers, becomes a lot more deliberate with men on base. You have to. But especially with a guy who can steal a base the way Roger Cedeno can, Reynolds is going to take a lot of time. He'll step off as opposed to simply throwing over. Right here, he comes home to Ordonez and hits the outside corner. 2nd strikeout for Shane Reynolds. 1 gone here in the 2nd. And that'll bring up Masato Yoshii.
Ray Ordonez loves the ball up. Reynolds threw a ball knee-high on the black. Great location. Your real good hitters have trouble with that ball. The only guy that comes to mind and handles that ball regularly is Alfonso.
Yoshii with a first pitch bunt. Reynolds will have to go to first.
There was no doubt in Reynolds' mind because he knew the speed on first base. Anybody else, I got to believe Reynolds thinks second base because that ball was bunted with some force right back to Reynolds.
So Reynolds thinking just take the 2nd out and go after Henderson.
And the scouting report on Reynolds, 2 walks. Are you kidding?
See, we update these scouting reports.
And he does have a good fastball. He got beat in New York. You always have revenge in your mind when you get beat by a team.
He went 6 1/3 innings, giving up 11 hits and 4 runs, but that game was scoreless. 2 out in the 6th inning, and then Robin Ventura had the 2-run single. So here's Rickey, who struck out looking his first time up. Ball 1 to Henderson. Even with 2 out, you always have to watch Roger Cedeno as a potential stolen base threat at second base. Conventionally, you don't want to make the last out stealing third.
But a lot of Mets will run from second base, including Cedeno.
We've seen him. He's going now. The pitch taken outside. The throw not in time. So Cedeno with a 2-out steal of third.
Now the Astros should be well aware and on their toes when a runner's on second base, even though there are 2 outs, because the Astros are even more aggressive than the Mets.
And Roger Cedeno, you have just surpassed Mookie Wilson. 59 stolen bases. Mookie had the club mark of 58, which lasted since 1982.
There goes Cedeno. Big jump off second base. You tend to forget the runner on second base because of that baseball play by the book. You're not supposed to make the last out of third, so what do the Mets do? They take full advantage of the situation.
3 balls, no strikes, and it's not a bad idea either, because you have a pitcher who throws a lot of split-fingered fastballs. Cedeno came about 1/3 of the way down before that last pitch, which Henderson just took for strike 1. Cedeno really tried to rattle Reynolds, but now Rogers got the stolen base leadership for a single season as a Met, all to himself. 3-1 pitch hit deep to left field. Ward at the wall, and it's off the fence. Cedeno scores, and Henderson, well, I don't know if he went into a home run trot or what. We'll have to get another look. But Rickey is only at first base.
That ball was hooked. It was out a ball on the outside part of the plate, and Henderson went out and hooked it hard off the scoreboard in left field, driving in Cedeno easily. Watch Rickey come out of the chute. Rickey thought he had a home run. Now Rickey's got to be on second base.
Absolutely.
I'm surprised that Rickey is standing at first base, but he's happy he drove in a run. So now he's got to steal second base.
Well,
make up for the loafing.
You know, the frustrating thing is he's done it often enough recently to the point where it's put the Mets in position to have bigger innings or rallies snuffed out. And here, similar situation where he took a line drive deep to left for granted, and rather being in scoring position, he's on first base with 2 out. 0-1 to Alfonso. Line drive, base hit right field. So now Rickey will have to stop at second. You don't know whether or not the play would have evolved similarly, but perhaps had he been at second base and Alfonso singled to right, he challenges Berkman and tries to come around to score. That's why you can't take things for granted. But the Mets having some fun with Shane Reynolds early. They have a 3-0 lead.
Vernon Rule on his way out to the mound. Well, Alfonso, there's a fake toward second base. Alfonso hitting the ball to right field after hitting a home run to left field his first time up. The most complete hitter the Mets have right there. Edgardo Alfonso hits the ball where it's pitched, can hit with power, can hit in the gap, can hit behind runners, can take deep into the count to allow a base runner to steal a base. Vern Rule has to be concerned with Shane Reynolds.
So now John Olerud will be the batter. Olerud drew a walk his first time up, one of 2 in a row that Reynolds allowed in the first inning. 3 runs, 5 hits for the Mets. Mets trailed 4-0 in the first inning last night. They're off to the early lead. Henderson at second, Alfonso at first. One ball, no strikes to John. And the 1-0 taken low and away. 2 balls, no strikes. And clearly, this is not the Shane Reynolds that the National League has seen for most of this year. Given up 18 home runs all year coming into this game. He's given up 2 already. Almost a third when you factor Henderson's ball in. That's a strike. 2-1. Reynolds 4-4 against the Mets lifetime. The only decision this year, the loss at Shea Stadium last week. Henderson at second base. Alfonso at first. Bogart trying to keep Rickey close. Line drive past BGO, base hit right center. This one is going to the wall. Henderson scores easily. Here comes Alfonso around third. He's being waved home. No relay throw to the plate. A 2-run double for John Olerud, and the Mets are leading by a score of 5-0. Larry Dierker may be forced to make an early move, even though he has nobody throwing in the bullpen yet. Mets with 5 runs and 6 hits off of Shane Reynolds. We're only in the second.
Well, John Olerud, who told me before the ball game, sees the ball pretty well here at the Dome. Hits that breaking ball, hits it hard and into the gap in right center field. Hit those line drives, getting it on the artificial turf. Has got a chance of going to the wall.
Deep to left field by Piazza. This one's going a long way. A home run for Mike Piazza. Maybe not as far as it looked like it was going at first, but certainly far enough to give the Mets a 7-0 lead with their 3rd home run off of Shane Reynolds tonight. Hey, the ball jumped off his bat. It's still a pretty good shot to land several rows up in those bleachers in left center field. Mike Piazza now has gone over the 100 RBI mark. Piazza with runs batted in number 100 and 101. So now the Mets have batted around as Robin Ventura steps in. 6 runs, second inning for New York. 1-0 to Ventura. 32 homers, 101 runs batted in. Ventura, who takes a strike, the club leader with 104 RBIs. So both of them in pretty good position now to surpass the all-time Met record for RBIs in a year, which is 117. Bernard Gilkey and Howard Johnson had 117 RBI seasons. Shoulder's fine, huh?
Well, Mike Piazza said that he feels a lot stronger when he gets a day off. He got a day off yesterday.
Bouncing ball, a fair ball. Ventura didn't run out of the box. Robin must have thought that ball was going to kick foul, but the Mets bat around. They score 6 times. Middle of the second, 7-0 New York.